I see many men walking in the world. They seem to hold everything in their hands, yet their hands are empty of what matters most: a true connection, a current that flows between two souls. This is not a question of what you have. It is a question of what you are. There is a quiet language spoken without words, a series of gestures so subtle they are like whispers. Most men never learn to speak it. Today, I invite you not to learn new tricks, but to remember a forgotten way of being. These are not rules to follow. They are currents of energy, drawn from a wisdom as old as the mountains, that can change the very air around you. You will become a presence she feels long after you have departed. Imagine for a moment, what if you could connect not to her mind, but to the source within her? What if you could stand apart not by effort, but by stillness? This is not about the hunt, nor is it about proving your worth. It is about understanding the art of creating a space where a connection can blossom on its own. If this deep knowledge remains unknown to you, you are like a boatman without a paddle, moved only by the surface winds. That is why I ask for your presence here. The final current we will discuss is the one from which all others flow. Once you feel it, your understanding of human connection will be forever transformed. If this journey inward resonates with your own path, I invite you to open your mind, to listen not just with your ears, but with your entire being. Let us begin. The first current, the warmth before the bloom. Imagine a garden. You wish for a flower to open. Do you command it? Do you force its petals apart? No. You tend to the soil. You offer water. You ensure it feels the sun. This is the nature of true connection. Most men focus on the bloom, ignoring the earth from which it grows. Connection for a woman is not built with words alone. It is felt in the body, in the spirit. And there is a profoundly simple way to tend to this inner soil: the offering of touch. Before any expectation of a bloom, a gentle stillness in your hands, a quiet message offered without a destination. Why is this so potent? Because it nourishes the root of connection, safety. Your touch, when it is a gift and not a request, communicates more than any poem. It says, I see you. My presence is a safe harbor for you. I want nothing but for you to be at peace. It is not a technique. It is an act of being. The only key is presence. If your mind is elsewhere, your touch is an empty vessel. But if you are fully there, attuned to her breath, her quietest shifts, she will feel your spirit. An ancient wisdom teaches, cease debating what a good man is. Be one. Do not think, do not measure. Simply be present and let your stillness speak. The world is filled with men seeking instant blossoms. By learning to first warm the soil, you create a garden that women will remember as a place of true peace. You join a rare few who understand that intimacy begins not with fire, but with warmth. The second current, the dance of the playful wind. Most men approach this energy as a storm, full of force and noise, trying to impress. Or they are like still, heavy air, afraid to move. They misunderstand. This energy is not a storm, nor is it a void. It is the playful wind. A woman's spirit loves to dance with this energy, but only when it is light, free, and born of confidence, not of need. The man who has mastered this flow stands apart. He creates an atmosphere of excitement, free of pressure. This is not about clever words or empty praise. It is about keeping a light heart. Imagine the wind dancing with the leaves of a tree. It leads, it recedes, but the dance feels like a shared secret, an effortless game. The surest way to enter this flow is with a gentle tease. For instance, if she shares something she loves, you might smile and say, is that so? You have yet to see the world through my eyes. It is a quiet challenge, a ripple on a still pond that makes the energy between you alive. Crucially, the wind does not seek the tree's approval. The moment you strive to impress, the wind dies. A woman's soul is drawn to the man who is a mountain within himself, who can be playful without needing her to validate his existence. In my tradition, this is a form of inner stillness. A man of true value does not dance for the sake of winning her. He dances because he enjoys the movement, the flow itself. He remains rooted, never desperate for her reaction. Your eyes, your quiet smile, a slow nod of understanding, These are the currents, stronger than any word. Connection is built not with speech, but with presence. Are you dancing to be seen, or are you dancing because your spirit is free? Master this, and the dance will bend in your favor. The third current, the touch of a single moment. Most men see, but they do not perceive. A woman's hair. They overlook its power. Yet, a touch here at the perfect moment can be a silent vow of connection. It is one of those small, almost unseen gestures that can open a heart. But if the timing is not true, if the energy is forced, it feels like an intrusion. The secret is not in the action, but in the listening. Her body holds a silent conversation. The skin of her head is a sensitive landscape, alive with energy pathways that lead to the deep well of her emotions. A gentle, knowing touch there sends a quiet message of intimacy, trust, and profound attraction. It is more than a physical sensation. It is a wordless declaration. I am here. In this one moment, I am with you completely. I feel your energy. Where do most men falter? They rush. They act from thought, not from feeling. They perform the gesture without spirit. Touching her hair is not an absent-minded act. It is the creation of a sacred moment of closeness. Picture this. You are in quiet conversation. There is a flow between you. In a moment of stillness, you gently move a single strand of hair from her face. That one action, born of pure presence and confidence, can speak more truth than 1,000 words. The timing must be felt, not decided. This is not a gesture for the first meeting, before the ground between you is warm. It blooms only when she is at ease, when the air is thick with unspoken chemistry. If she leans toward you, if her smile is an invitation to draw nearer, then the moment is alive. To force it is to shatter the vessel. From the perspective of my path, this is a practice of emotional listening and restraint. We are taught to read the currents without being swept away by our own desire. We act not when we want to, but when the moment is right for connection to deepen. So the next time you are with her, and the energy feels true, do not underestimate this quiet power. When offered with pure intention, it is one of those rare, subtle gifts that leaves a lasting echo in her memory. The fourth current, the guide of the silent mountain. This may appear to be a small thing, a simple touch, but in this gesture lies an entire mountain of meaning. A quiet, confident hand on the small of her back as you guide her through a room or as you walk side by side. It speaks a language of its own. It speaks of leadership, of presence, of protection, and yet, almost all men either overlook this path or stand at its edge, hesitating, unsure if they should walk it. A woman does not need a loud display of strength to feel safe. She needs the subtle, deep hum of a man who is grounded, who is present, and who can lead with stillness. When you place your hand on her back with a calm, certain energy, you communicate, I am here. The space around you is held. You say it all without a single word. This is not about force or control. It is a quiet offering, showing her through action that you are aware and that your confidence is a shelter. Where do men go wrong? They hesitate and the moment becomes awkward. Or they push and the gesture feels unnatural, like a claim. This is not ownership. It is not a search for a reaction. It is presence. When done in the right spirit, the touch is light yet firm, brief yet intentional. It is just enough for her to feel your silent support, a natural and effortless current. Imagine you are walking together. You move to open a door for her. Your hand rests for a moment on her lower back, a silent guide leading her forward as you clear the path. It is a moment of unspoken leadership, a gesture that reassures her on a level deeper than thought that she is with a man who moves through the world with purpose. In my tradition, this is connected to self-mastery. As one great teacher said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. A man of true presence does not seek permission for his stillness. He simply embodies strength and awareness. When you place your hand on her back, you are not asking for anything. You are simply being a guide, a silent mountain. And that alone is a powerful current that draws others in. In a world where men are often either too timid or too loud, mastering this simple, potent gesture sets you apart. It shows you understand the delicate balance of strength and care. The fifth current, the calm of the deep harbor. Let us quiet the noise of the world. Let us be still and touch something true. Within every man is a deep river, a current that wishes to protect, to lead, to be a solid shore she can stand on when the tides of her own world are rising. Not because she is weak, or because you wish to control her, but because it is in your masculine center to offer stillness, not to smother, to be a mountain, not to chase the wind. And this is what the feminine spirit craves, not a god, not a dictator, but a man whose presence silently says, "The world is safe when you are with me." And here is the paradox. You do not earn this state with muscle or with money. You earn it with stillness. Most men believe being her harbor means rushing in with answers, fixing her problems, calming her storms like one would fix a leaky roof. But that is not what she needs. She needs a man who can stand in the middle of her storm and not be moved. A man who does not flinch when her emotions flow, who does not try to build a dam or judge the water or make it about his own fear. She needs to feel you can hold her chaos without losing your own peace. When a woman is overcome by the tides of her mind, her heart, her body, she is not looking for a savior. She is looking for a harbor. Someone who does not flee, someone who does not react, someone who stays but stays centered. That is the true protector. It is not loud, it is not flashy, it is not the stuff of films. It is steady, quiet, unshakable. And the more she feels this stillness from you, the more she can relax into her own flow. She can finally let go because she knows you are holding the space. This means letting her feel without needing to fix. It means listening with your whole being, not just your ears. It means holding your center when she tests the edges of your stillness, not as a punishment, but to feel that her storm will not break your mountain. Your calm is the signal. Here is the secret. You become her harbor long before the storm arrives. Your energy precedes the need. You set the spiritual weather in the room. You walk with purpose. You speak with intention. You need not say, "I will protect you," because the way you occupy space already does. But be clear, this is not being a vessel for her pain. A harbor does not mean tolerating disrespect or manipulation. It means you protect your own peace first, for a man who cannot hold his own center will never truly hold hers. As one sage said, no man ever became wise by chance. You do not stumble into this way of being. You choose it. You cultivate it, not to impress her, not to prove your strength, but because it is the man you have become. And the beautiful truth is, when you fully inhabit that energy, she will soften, she will open, she will trust. Not because you rescued her, but because you showed her that she never had to rescue you. So, if you are ready to lead with a grounded spirit, write this in your own heart. My presence is my protection. The man she respects in her very soul is not the loudest one. He is the one who remains unmoved when it matters most. That is the harbor, not of her body, but of her safety in your stillness. The sixth current, the truth of the outer form. Let us now speak of something that begins with the physical form, but touches a much deeper source, the beard. To some, it is merely hair upon a man's face, but to a woman's spirit, if worn with the right intention, it can stir a sense of connection that feels ancient and true. I am not saying all women are drawn to it. Tastes are like rivers, each flowing its own way, but beyond preference, a beard has always been a symbol of something primal, masculine, and quietly potent. Women feel this, even when the mind cannot name it. For a beard does not simply alter how you look, it alters how you are perceived. And in the world of human connection, perception is the very water we swim in. A well-tended beard speaks of maturity. It whispers of experience. It carries an inner edge. It tells her silently, this man has moved past the season of the boy. He is not trying to be seen. He simply is. And this energy of being, this is a deep, masculine current. Let us go a layer deeper. Psychologically, this form represents rootedness and depth. Not the loud, shouting kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that enters a space and does not need to announce itself. It speaks through stillness, presence, and attention to detail. And when a woman senses that presence in a man, especially if he wears his form with both confidence and care, it awakens something ancestral within her. She feels safety, but also a hint of the wild. She senses a man who can both protect and provoke, who is not swayed by the shifting winds of opinion, who lives by his own inner compass. But be clear, this is not about merely letting it grow. A beard, when honored, is a reflection of your own discipline. It says, I care for my own being. I honor the details. I invest in my own presence. An untamed beard does not speak of power, it speaks of neglect. But a clean, intentional form says, I know who I am, and I walk my path without apology. Now, here is the subtle part many miss. When she touches your jaw, when her fingers move through your beard, it is more than texture. She is feeling a deeper truth. It is contact. But it is also a dance of opposites, your ruggedness meeting her softness, her smoothness against your edge. It creates a polarity, and polarity is the engine of chemistry. Not comfort, but contrast. Masculine and feminine, stillness and flow. The beard, when joined with the right inner energy, amplifies this polarity. It allows her to feel more in her own feminine flow simply by being near you. But I say again, it is not the beard itself. It is the man behind the form. If your spirit is weak, if your boundaries are water, if you chase or explain, no outer form will change her feeling. But if you carry yourself like a mountain, silent when silence is needed, selective with your energy, rooted in your purpose, then the beard becomes an emblem. It is a symbol of the man you are. A great teacher said, first, know who you are. Then, adorn yourself accordingly. You do not grow a beard to hide. You grow it as an extension of what is already within. It does not create your strength. It reflects it. So whether your face is clear as a still pond or lined with the wisdom of the forest, let it be an act of purpose. Do not follow the current of others. Lead with your presence, and let all else be an echo of that. If you now see that your masculinity is not just felt, but also seen, then hold this truth: I wear my strength. For the man who knows his own nature does not just grow a beard. He wears it as a quiet signal, a reminder to her that she is in the presence of a man who has nothing to prove. He already is. The seventh current, the power of shared light. Let me ask you something, my friend. When was the last time you were a space for a woman's true laughter? Not the polite kind, not the hollow echo after a forced joke. I mean the real, unguarded sound of her spirit taking flight. The kind that makes her lean back and let go of the world for a moment. The kind that makes her touch your arm from a place of pure joy, not thought. The kind that dissolves her armor without a single word. Because here is a truth few men understand: laughter is not just amusement. It is a form of deep intimacy. It is a key that unlocks all gates. It flows past the mind and settles directly into her soul. Do you want to know the alchemy behind this? When a woman laughs with you, her body releases a chemical of bonding, the same one she feels in moments of profound trust. And in that instant, you are no longer just a man she is speaking with. You are the man who feels like a safe harbor, the man who feels like coming home. Now, most men never touch this power. Why? They are too busy trying to be impressive. They are caught in being strong, being mysterious, being perfect. All of that has its place, like the banks of a river. But if the banks are all you have, with no water flowing between them, she will feel your structure, but she will not feel your life. Laughter is the living water. It is the secret ingredient, the space between the tension, the breath where she realizes, being with this man makes my spirit feel lighter. But listen carefully. This is not about being a jester. It is not about trying to perform. It is about knowing when to release your own structure, when to dance playfully with the moment, when to allow her to tease you back, when to not hold your own image so tightly. That creates a connection that needs no touch to feel electric. Imagine you are with her. The energy is quiet. You notice a small detail in the world that no one else sees, and you offer a dry, perfectly timed observation. A smile curves her lips. She tries to hold it back, but cannot, and now you are both sharing this wave of lightness. That single moment is more powerful than any grand declaration because it was not forced. It was real. It was yours alone. She will replay that feeling later, not your words. The feeling. She will not remember the joke. She will remember how light her soul felt in your presence. And in a world that so often feels heavy to her, that feeling is a rare gift. Most men believe laughter is weakness, that to be light is to lose respect. This is seeing the world upside all. The man who can be light without losing his depth, he is rare. He is a source of life. He knows that laughter does not diminish his masculine core. It expands it. It shows he is not trapped by the moment, that he is the master of his own energy, that even from a place of deep stillness, he can create joy. One sage reminded us, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Yet he also taught, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. Your ability to reframe the world, to transform tension into ease, that is power. Laughter is that transformation. It is how you lead her spirit back to joy. So, if you have been carrying the weight of being the serious man, if you have forgotten how to simply enjoy a moment, it is time to welcome back the light, not to impress, but to connect. The man who laughs with her, not at her, not for her, but truly with her, builds something deeper than attraction. He builds a home in her memory. If this is the man you are becoming, hold this in your heart. I lead with lightness. For the man who makes her smile is the man she will want to be near, not just when life is a celebration, but when it is a storm. Because shared laughter is a bond her soul will never forget. The eighth current, the path of the North Star. Let us now walk beyond attraction, beyond the touch, beyond the teasing, beyond the chemistry. Let us speak of something a woman's soul craves, but rarely knows how to ask for a man with a North Star. Not merely a job, not just a goal. I am talking about a vision, a direction, a man who is not just living, but building. Because here is a truth that most men pass by. Nothing draws a woman's spirit deeper than a man who is unapologetically walking a path that is larger than himself. This is not about money. It is not about fame. It is not even about his particular dream. It is about what his direction says about his spirit. It says he is alive. It says he is not a stagnant pond, but a flowing river. It says he wakes with a purpose, and that energy is a current that pulls everything toward it. Do you want to know what a woman's soul finds truly magnetic? It is the man who can look her in the eye and say, I cannot stay long. My path calls me. And he means it. Not because he is avoiding her, but because he refuses to lose himself in her. That is the secret. You do not win her heart by making her your world. You win her heart by focusing on your own path and allowing her to witness the fire in your eyes when you speak of it. Here is why this works. When a woman feels your direction, when she sees you are journeying towards something real, not waiting for life to come to you, she respects you on a level beyond words.